We finished the demolition. Come take a look and see what a 2006 Bluebird All-American skeleton looks like with nothing in it. Recapping the last few days. Last time I was saying that we were going to be getting all of the heaters and those lines drained and the heater cores and heater fans removed. Got all of that out. Almost a full 5-gallon pail of coolant came out of the lines just going from the front to the back of the bus, which is way more than I was expecting. We're getting that out and then clipping the wires, and because nothing was plugged in, it was all hardwired into the heater fans and everything there. And triple checked that the battery was disconnected, that there was no power coming into the bus. It was probably one of the scariest things I did still, even though I was for sure that there was no electricity coming through, to just take a pair of wire cutters and snip right through some electrical line. Uh, Not my favorite thing to do, but it's got to get done. And so that was great having all of that, and the whole big cluster of wires is completely gone. There's only one line going from the driver's section all the way to the back, which I believe is the connection to turn the coolant pump on, or the heater pump, for the coolant lines to come into the cab of the bus. So leaving that in place, as we will need that to be able to be turned on. If we can have it permanent, probably do that. Might be nice to keep the switch, so we'll see what makes the most sense, and to tuck that line somewhere else possibly. After that, started tearing away at the walls and removing all of the wall panels and the insulation that's coming out of those. And it was a lot simpler than the roof panels, a lot simpler, a lot smaller, flat, and everything like that. So it was easy to get off. The insulation goes right down into these cavities, and at the bottom was wet and disgusting. I've got a pile of it here. I don't know if you can see that, but this is supposed to be nice yellow insulation, and there's black patches everywhere. It is disgusting. And in my opinion, I know some people like to leave the bus as is, but in my opinion, just seeing how disgusting and potentially moldy this insulation is, and filled with who knows what, it's really comforting to have taken the time to remove this, get it out, clean it up. I look at it, I'm building a house, not just renovating a bus. That was great to have all of that off. Had to disconnect the driver's seatbelt from the wall. Had to take out all of the emergency panels here, emergency windows, as the panel comes down over the wall bracket. So had to take those out, which was great because then I got to see how the windows are installed to get a better idea of what materials I want to get to reseal it. Probably getting some of the tape, as well as some of the different silicone, either a Manis Bond or Sikaflex. I'm still trying to figure out which one I want to go with. And then probably in addition wrapped with I believe it's the butyl tape, if I'm remembering correctly, off of the hundreds of stuff I've looked up so far. I still need to remove the panels from the top in the back above the window, and as well in the driver's section. And then the rearmost panels that are up above the engine cover in the back. And contemplating now whether I want to take the first layer off of the engine cover, just seeing how far everything is going, kind of going, okay, keep disassembling bit by bit, and see how much farther we want to go. At the very back, the last rib doesn't go all the way down, and so it has some structural pieces connecting that rib to the second rib that does go all the way down. And tucked inside of there is a whole bunch more insulation that I can't get at. I don't know that I want to remove it, the structural pieces, to just remove that insulation. So I may take the panel off over the engine cover. Gonna look up some more things, see what other people have done in this particular build, because I know when you've got the front engine cover, it is a little simpler as far as interior goes. This is a much larger cover over everything, and so Gonna take a look into that. But yeah, just taking piece by piece, almost got everything down as far as physical pieces coming out outside of the driver's seat. So gonna do that soon, and then also clean up all of this wiring. And very excited to just keep taking it one day at a time. If I look too far ahead, it can almost feel overwhelming, and just going, okay, we're doing this one step at a time. As we dig in, it's not a surprise to find more and more structural, well-built bus. We just need to keep plugging away and tackle what we have in front of us for today. The last few days have been filled with getting these last panels off of the engine cover, over the air intake, and we've found it to be a lot more challenging than I anticipated for the last few pieces. This cover here lets the air in. I'm not sure if you can see that here. Lets the air in through these vents, gets sucked down, and then the air filters through there. This top part of the cover was screwed into the panel that sat around it. Needless to say, that is why it was a struggle to get the smallest piece of metal out, and finally got it out though. All the panels have been removed. All the insulation has been removed. Gonna clean up just the little bits and pieces that are stuck, but everywhere that we can access the insulation, the wall panels, the ceiling have been completely removed. And now we're going to be cleaning that up, going to get all the wiring done. So once we expose the back and the front and all these wires, found the wires that are just going nowhere, and quite surprising to see different wires just exposed and completely out. So we're going to be cleaning those up, removing what we can, closing off and sealing properly all the wires that are staying. And it's just going to be too much work than it's worth to try and undo these wiring harnesses to try and get 5 or 6 wires out. So we're going to be closing it off, shortening these, making sure that it's all sealed off. That'll probably get tucked in when we do the spray foam insulation on the roof. We'll probably be able to tuck this, what do you call it, cable house into that, so it'll get sealed off and out of the way. Before we do, we'll make sure everything starts up and runs properly, nothing's crazy as far as emergency doors or exits, and that all of those are working properly. I believe that this will still start even if the sensors are triggered, but it has a really annoying beep and sound. We'll probably be able to get that removed, but even so, I don't want to have wiring that's sending signals unnecessarily. So we will make sure that all of that is removed as well. The last few days have been consumed with this last cover here. I tried finding different people who have removed or not removed. It looked pretty structural, but once I dug in on the side, seeing that there's insulation underneath, knowing that it was similar to the wall panel. So I am very grateful that I decided to remove this based on the amount of insulation that came out. And this is going to be the girl's bedroom in the back. So as little bit of that insulation as possible. There are some different structural pieces here that are connecting this rib that goes all the way up over to the other ribs that don't go all the way down. So they're structural, and in these cavities, there's insulation. It's not removable, not without having to deconstruct and reconstruct and re-weld the bus, which we're not going to be doing right now. So I'm going to see if there's any way to suck some of it out, and then we'll be putting spray foam insulation outside of it, so it will seal it off to some degree. Hopefully will not cause us any problems down the road. That is the one area that is not ideal, that I'm not as pleased, but the rest I'm super grateful. Found through here, we've got a direct engine access cover to our 8.3 liter Cummins. So we will make sure that this panel stays accessible, build out an ability to remove whatever goes in this space, so that if we need to, we can get better access than we had originally, because this was riveted, screwed, stripped screws, bolted down. So if we had to get emergency access to the bus cover, it would not have been very quick. So we will make sure that that is more easily accessible moving forward. Once the electrical is all cleaned up, I'm going to start on the windows to clean those, get them ready and prepped for new sealing. These last couple of weeks have been great. Finishing up the demolition and deconstruction, getting all the panels and insulation out, getting all the electrical wires moretted and taped up and completely secure in that aspect, even removing some of the electrical lines from the heaters, taking that whole electrical bundle out and being able to fully remove that, which is great. Once we dig into the front, we'll see what kind of other electrical lines can be removed. But yeah, it was a great couple of weeks, and even got started removing some of the windows and getting that pre-cleaned. So then when it comes time for the new sealant, it will be a quicker process. And that is the next couple weeks. Excited to see what next week has in store for us.